We shall now delve into a fascinating world of ancient Indian history, specifically focusing on Buddhism. My name is SP, and I've dedicated years to the understanding of nuances and complexities of India's rich past. It's not just about memorizing facts, but also about understanding the historical context and the impact that Buddhism had on the Indian society and beyond. It's about grasping the philosophy that was born in the crucible of human suffering and went on to shape civilizations in the millennia. My teaching methodology emphasizes clarity, conceptual understanding, and effective exam-oriented strategies. Over the next few minutes, we'll try to understand the core of Buddhism, various divisions arising out of it, and the factors leading to its rise and spread. Now, about the factors led to the originating of Buddhism, Jainism, and about 300 more such sects in the 5th century. Vedic rituals were complicated. Upanishadic philosophies सबके पल्ले नहीं पड़ती थी. And the social structure, the hierarchy, the pyramidal Varna system that developed into the later phase of the Vedic era didn't allow social mobility. अब social mobility क्यों और किसको चाहिए? Agriculture prospered in the western as well as the northern part of India, जिसके कारण trade prospered. The Vaishyas were those paying taxes. लेकिन hierarchical structure में उनको उतना मान सम्मान नहीं मिल रहा था. They wanted social mobility. Shudras were the ones who were involved into the agriculture. And Vedic rituals कह रहे थे animal sacrifice के लिए. अब agriculture में involved होने वाले लोग animal sacrifice को कैसे मान ले? They wanted a way out. They wanted another way जिससे मोक्ष प्राप्त हो जाए. Now let's talk a bit about the Buddha. He was born as Siddhartha. He is also known as Tathagat or Shakyamuni. His father Shuddhodhan was the president-elect of the Shakya clan, and mother Mayadevi belonged to the Koya tribe. He was born in Lumbini, which is today located in Nepal, which was the capital of Sakya Republic. At his early age, एक सेठ ने भविष्यवाणी की थी उनके लिए कि या तो वो बुद्धा बनेंगे या एक ग्रेट एम्परर बनेंगे. तो इनके पिता शुद्धोधन ने इनको एक ग्रेट एम्परर बनाने की मंशा से पैलेस के लग्जरीज में एक प्रकार से कैद करके रख लिया. बट एट द एज ऑफ 29 when he first encountered the outside world, तो जैसे उनके चक्षु खुल गए. यहाँ पे 4 इंस्टेंसेस का जिक्र होता है. उन्हें सबसे पहले एक एजेड पर्सन दिखाई दिया, from where he could understand the consequences of aging. He encountered a sick man, जिसने उनको बताया कि सारे ह्यूमन बीइंग्स को डिसीज तो होना आम बात है, इट्स क्वाइट नेचुरल. थर्ड, he encountered a dead body. अब इनके जो सारथी थे जो इनको रथ में बैठा कर लेकर गए थे, उन्होंने बताया कि हर ह्यूमन बीइंग मरता तो है ही. The last scene was where he saw an ascetic, एक सन्यासी साधु जो वर्षों की तपस्या में लगे हुए थे टू अंडरस्टैंड ह्यूमन सफरिंग. तो इन सारे इंसिडेंट्स ने बुद्धा को इंस्पायर किया. सिद्धार्थ गौतम को एक प्रेरणा मिली कि जाना जाए कि इन सफरिंग्स के क्या कॉजेस है और ये साइकिल ऑफ बर्थ एंड रीबर्थ से कैसे बाहर निकला जा सकता है. सो ही लेफ्ट हिज होम एट द एज ऑफ 29 and dedicated himself to finding the cause of sufferings and misery that human beings undergo. Finally, at the age of 35, under a peepal tree at Uruvela in Bodh Gaya, on the banks of river Niranjana, which was also then known as Falguni, उनको enlightenment मिला, उनको मोक्ष की प्राप्ति हुई और यहाँ तक पहुँचने में इनका साथ दिया इनके टीचर्स अलाराकामा एंड उद्रक रामपुत्र, इन दोनों ने. After attaining enlightenment, he gave his first sermon at the Deer Park in Sarnath to 5 disciples, including Mahakashyap. At a place called Kushinagar in Deoria district in UP, he attained Mahaparinirvana at the age of 80. Mahaparinirvana is death. So now let us look at some of the teachings of Buddha. The Arya Satya, the 4 noble truths. The world is full of misery. Sabbam dukkham. Desire is a root cause of suffering. Pratyutta sampudapada. Desire can be conquered. Dukkha nirodha. And 4th, desire can be conquered by following the Ashtangika Marg. That is the eightfold path. And what is this Ashtangika Marg? It consists of various interconnected activities related to meditative practices, knowledge and conduct. क्या है ये eightfold path? Right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right mindfulness, right effort, and right concentration. Buddha also established a code of conduct both for the monastic order and the laymen to follow, which are known as the 5 precepts or Panchashil. And they asked these followers to refrain from sexual misconduct, stealing, violence, lying or gossip, taking intoxicating substances. The literary sources of Buddhism and the Buddhist councils where they were compiled, we shall look at them at the end of the chapter. But before that, let us first look at the major schools of Buddhism. The major schools of Buddhism, the major divisions, Hinayana and Mahayana, came out at the 4th Buddhist Council during Kanishk in Kashmir, 98 AD, which was chaired by Vasumitra. Ashwagosha was the vice president there. Mahayana literally means great vehicle. It sought salvation through grace and help of Buddha and Bodhisattvas. It originated in northern India and Kashmir and later traveled to Central Asia, East Asia and some parts of Southeast Asia. It believed that Buddha will be born again. So thus, idol worship was included in Mahayana Buddhism, क्योंकि वो बुद्धा को ही वर्शिप करते थे in idol form. The language of propagation Sanskrit हुआ करता था, as opposed to the majority local language Prakrit और Pali. इसके सब schools है Chittamatra and Madhyamaka. Zen is also one of the sub-schools of Mahayana Buddhism, which is prevalent in China, Korea, and it is related to Taoism. The Zen school of Mahayana Buddhism originated in China during the Tang dynasty as the Chan school of Chinese Buddhism. It traveled to Japan in the 7th century, and meditation is the most distinctive feature of this tradition of Buddhism. Now, Hinayana Buddhism. It is considered the lesser vehicle, also known as the abandoned vehicle or the defective vehicle. It believes in the original teachings of Buddha or the doctrine of elders. And it used Pali as the language for propagation. It believed that Buddha was an intellectual being, not a god. Therefore, no idol worship here. It sought individual salvation through self-discipline and meditation. It had 18 major sub-schools. Some of the importance are Shravastivada, which considers everything empirical to be impermanent. Then Theravada. Theravada Buddhism is older and most conservative among the various schools of Buddhism and is often referred to as the traditions of the elder. Sautantrika is another school of Hinayan Buddhism. Vasubandhu was the writer who wrote from the perspectives of Sautantrika and Shravastivad schools of Buddhism. Then there was another Vajrayana, that is Tantric Buddhism, the vehicle of the thunderbolt, which was established in India in 900 BC. The master is given special focus wherein he teaches breathing practices, yogic exercises, etc. It believed in acquiring magical powers to attain liberation. It believes that this form can deliver results in a single birth. That is shortcut to enlightenment. It developed in Tibet and believes in the worship of female deities, that is Taras. It became popular in eastern India, particularly Bengal and Bihar. We also need to study some of the traits of important bodhisattvas like Maitreya, Samantabhadra, Vajrapani, Avalokiteshwar, Kshitigarbha, Amitabh, Sadaparibhuta, Manjushri, Akashagarbha, etc. I'll give you a list of important terminologies and their meanings that are related to Buddhism. Arhat is the liberated being. Nirvana is the state of supreme bliss. Sheel refers to when a layperson leaves home to live the life of a Buddhist renunciate among the community of bhikkhus. Shravan is an ascetic or a seeker, or the one who labors, toils, or exerts themselves for some higher or religious purpose. Upasampada. It is sort of ritual for ascetic wedding, जिसके माध्यम से if you are eligible आपको संघ में एंट्री मिलती है. वत्स, it's a 3-month annual retreat जब बारिश हो रही होती है, July to October. Pavaran is the assembly at the end of Vassa. Uposhtha is the Buddhist day of observance. The Buddha taught that the Uposhtha day is very important for the cleansing of the defiled mind, so that your mind becomes calm. Then the restoration of vows is the Poshtadha. And there we have it, a glimpse into the vast world of Buddhism. But we are not done yet. We have just touched upon the life of Buddha, the Four Noble Truths, the Ashtangika Marg. Buddhism is a rich tapestry woven with the threads of philosophy, art, architecture, literature, and history. I hope this demo lecture would spark your curiosity to learn even more. हमें अनुमति दें. धन्यवाद.